That's the challenge.
Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim.
Sorry, I'm just trying to... You know, I receive a lot of messages. You can't believe it. I receive a number of messages, so I try to attend to them. I'm a public lawyer. Like for real, for real, for real, I'm a public lawyer. A tribune. Da, da, da. Now, oh la la, mom. Oh, okay. Why did they have to make it that difficult? So yeah, good morning. You know, these days, due to time differences, yeah, I'm trying to do things. Okay, attend to issues as they happen somehow. Than looking forward to 20 hours because hello apa ishilecha sana ma politics. I'm not really so much doing politics. I think I've stated my position at the moment that I really don't want to do politics so much. Actually, I'm in the process of appointing somebody who appointing a vice president who will act as president, whilst myself I kind of move away. But unfortunately, there are certain issues which I cannot ignore. There are certain issues which I cannot ignore, especially as a public lawyer, and like the case of today, where Cornelius Mwetwa has come gun blazing, intimidating a Catholic bishop. I'm telling you, those issues, I will not sit back. So let's get it right. I'm not really like, I'll not be fully engaged in politics, but I will be picking certain issues of interest, especially of public interest. And where necessary, even political issues, I will jump in. I am not doing so much politics now because mostly I had an agenda. had an agenda, and my agenda was to push back Edgar Lungu into office after seeing that President Hakainde Hichilema was not doing well. Unfortunately, President Edgar Chagwa Lungu has been bad, okay, that he cannot contest, has been declared ineligible. And from my point of view, from where I am, I find it very difficult to reverse that situation. I agree there are some people that have got hope. They still see chances. Excuse me. I see there are certain people that see hope, that still have hope. I mean, I will watch. I will watch. But from my point of view, I find it very, very difficult, because actually we had an opportunity to fight that issue. We had an opportunity to fight that issue, but we failed to fight it. We should have stopped in the eligibility case. We should have stopped it. We should have stopped it, or we should have won, because basically Edgar Lungu was eligible. Edgar Lungu was eligible, but he was declared ineligible politically. But we had a chance to fight that, to fight against that. That shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. For me, that situation to have had happened is what has made me to feel like, I mean, if we failed to fight it when we had a chance, when Edgar Lungu was still eligible, we had that chance to fight it and make it happen that Edgar Lungu is not declared ineligible. Now he has been declared ineligible. I find it very difficult to undo that. I find that very difficult. So that is why I am reluctant to discuss politics. And then, I don't want to start to continue attacking the UPND or Hakainde Hichilema when I don't have an alternative. Because when you are trying to, in opposition, let's face it, opposition is not just opposition for the sake of opposition. You do opposition so that, you can help people, you can help the country. And the other thing, I mean, there are just two things. To help people, or to remove the government that is there so that you are there and do things. That is in my view, opposition has got only two functions. One, to help people, that is in offering checks and balances here and there so that things can be better. And when things are better, people get to benefit. Or you fight so that the government can go out, the ruling party can come out so that you get in. These are the two functions. Now, from my point of view, yes, I'm still doing the checks and balances. I'll do that so that things can be better. But to campaign to say, let UPND go out, I don't think I can do that, because if I'm saying let UPND go out, let Hakainde Hichilema go out, I should be able to say, let Hakainde Hichilema go out and we bring in this one. So far, I don't have that name. The only name up to today, excuse me if I was intoxicated or if I was obsessed, the only name that I have in my head was Edgar Chagwa Lungu. I had, of course, Munduvile as well. I had also Munduvile. But really, why did I change from Munduvile going back to Edgar Lungu? It is because I saw that really things are much more difficult for Munduvile than for Edgar Lungu. And that's why I went to Edgar Lungu. So now that Edgar Lungu has been chingered, it's very difficult for me to go back and say Munduvile, whatever. Come on. Yeah. So that is my position. However, I get aggrieved, or I don't know the best word to use, but I feel provoked. I feel provoked when people like Cornelius Mwetwa attack the church, attack my church. There, no ways. And I'm saying my church. I know Cornelius Mwetwa, and some of you will say no, but he didn't say the church. He said, Bishop Musipi. So he's talking about Bishop Musipi. I will explain that. There is no difference when you talk about a bishop when you talk about a priest, there is no difference between that priest, that bishop, and the church. Because that Musipi, he is the church. He is the church. So there is no difference. But I will explain that. But you see, I want to, first of all, I want to help my brothers and sisters in UPND to understand one thing. That by UPND, you are in a very precarious situation. You are in a very precarious situation. Your government has failed in many ways. This is the fact. Yeah? We are quiet, we don't talk. Because, like I've told you, tulipa go slow. Not we wear our politics. Not we wear our, but our silence, it is not that we have got nothing to talk about. We are only trying to be civil. We are only trying to be civil. So don't provoke us to start talking. Some of us, at least for me, I will tell you this. Don't provoke me to start talking. Don't provoke me. Let, things be. And you should know, you can, it's not that you shouldn't be talking, but know how you talk. Don't go into territories where you are going to invite, reactions like my reaction. I am reacting. This is 10 o'clock. I'm reacting. If Cornelius Mweta had not uttered nonsense, I wouldn't be talking. So I am talking because Cornelius Mweta uttered nonsense. That is nonsense. And I can assure you, Cornelius Mweta, if we consider circumstances between myself and the church, it is you who has everything to lose. I can assure you, Cornelius Mweta, ayama wakamule imia against the church. The church will not lose anything. If you think the church can lose, that bishop you are attacking, if you think he has anything to lose, then you must be a joker and you don't deserve to be a minister. You must be a big joker. When you are starting a fight, you should weigh. You should weigh. Before you start a fight, weigh who you are going to fight, who you are going to engage. You should weigh. And I can tell you that smart people, in terms of politics, smart politicians, there are certain people that they avoid to get into argument with. There are certain people that they don't want to get into those confrontations. They don't want. There are certain people. This you must learn, and I'm telling you by UPND. I'm telling you by UPND, and even some of you politicians, even you, I know when I talk here, I talk also to upcoming politicians. I mean, I'm grateful that a number of you have come to me, for consultation, for advice. So each time I'm talking, I also have you in mind. So you in politics, yes, politics is about, it is a competition over wit, over intelligence, over ideas, over, articulation. That is a competition. It is a competition. You engage in that. But in that, you should be very careful who you pick on. You should be very careful on who you pick on. Certain people, don't pick on them. And number one on the list among those people that you shouldn't pick on, it's the church. The people in the church, don't pick a fight with them. Don't. I'm telling you, don't pick a fight with people in the church. It doesn't matter how small the church is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how small the church is. If you really want to fight as a politician, avoid fighting the religious. Avoid fighting those people in the church. Why? The answer is very simple. You see, in the church, we operate on faith. We operate on faith. In church, we operate on faith, not reason. Not reason, but faith. Faith. We bring things at the realm of the supernatural, at the realm of supernatural, where reason doesn't apply. At the level of supernatural, at the level of belief, the reason really doesn't operate in many ways, even in the most educated people, the very educated, the professors. You see these professors, I mean, the next day you find him alimuli atshan prophet Wundawanga, alimuli prophet whatever. I mean, and you're like, I mean, what is he following in that? Because it is at the level of, faith. It is at the level of belief. It's very difficult there. It's very, very difficult. And these people, they have followers. They have followers. You know, when I saw Cornelius Mweta talking, I remembered the first time I met CR1. And this is a good example I want to give you, because you may not understand it, but let's look at CR1. It's a good example I can give you. There was a time back then when somebody, one of the ministers actually gave me some information about CR1. And he told me CR1 was abusing, children, girl children. He was a molester, blah, 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 blah. He said all these things. And actually, CR1 was even arrested. And they gave me this information. And they wanted me to, talk about it so that, people would stop, believing CR1. Because CR1 had a following in Zambia. CR1 had a following in Zambia. And some people in government, during the time of PF, they didn't like CR1. For whatever reasons, whatever they could have done with him, I don't know. But they didn't want CR1. And they wanted some kind of propaganda against CR1. So they gave me this information. But according to me, all the time, when I come here to talk in public, most of the times, I would have contacted the person. I don't come here before contacting the other person. Yes, there are some times when I'm doing advocacy, and whatever. But most of the times, I like to communicate with the other person and find out, what is your position? I've received this information. What is your position? And those who are reasonable, they give me their position. They give me feedback. Others, of course, they ignore me. They don't pick up for the phone calls. They call me whatever. And when I start talking, then some of you start coming. Hey, but why didn't you reach out privately? Hey, whatever. I usually reach out to people privately before I come here. I know I've got influence. I know I've got influence. I know I've got so many people following me. So, I should be responsible in my interaction. I should be responsible. So I do reach out to people. So even when I received information about CR1, I reached out to CR1. And somehow a meeting was arranged and I met CR1, I think at Twin Palm Mall there. We met at Twin Palm and we had a discussion. And from my discussion with CR1, I realized that really, I think what they were saying was not true, really. I realized that what they were saying was not true. And at the end of the day, I abandoned whatever that I didn't. But when I went back to this minister, I said, that guy, as much as you may not like him and you may have all these things, the thing is that that guy also has followers. And as a government, you would be treading in a wrong path if you start fighting that guy. And this guy said, but who is he? He has just got a few people and whatever. I said, well, the issue about faith is very difficult. The issue about belief is very difficult. It is easier for somebody in the church to convince people than a politician. It is easier for somebody who is in the church than a politician. People will listen no matter what they are being told, as long as it is being transmitted in the name of religion, in the name of belief, in the name of faith. People will listen. People will listen. So, you must be very careful to think that you can take on somebody who is in the church. And I'm talking about a person like CR1. And of course, What happened to CR1? CR1 was deported. CR1 was deported out of all that. And for me, when they deported CR1, I looked at it, I said, this is a big mistake. Anyway, CR1 was deported. When CR1 was deported, he went and started now, launched this, social media campaign against PF. And look how many people follow CR1. Look how many people follow CR1. If CR1 goes online to talk about Zambia, so far CR1 is the highest. Is the highest so far CR1. When CR1 goes live, so far is the highest. But tell me, how many of those people that follow CR1 belong to CR1's church? I don't belong to CR1's church. And if anything, I mean, I have my different opinion about his religious activities. But of course, that is not for me to judge, because really, that is a realm that is very difficult for one to judge. I actually find it very naive for some of you people who want to convince others to say, no, your faith is better than the other, whatever. It's very difficult. You believe in that because that's what was sold to you. Another one was sold something else. I mean, a Muslim is a Muslim because somebody, converted this person into being a Muslim. A Christian is being a Christian because it's very difficult. It's very difficult. No, seventh day, no, whatever. It's difficult. At that realm, you better off avoid that as a politician. Better off avoid that. And look at now CR1. CR1, he did so much damage. We all know how much damage he did to PF. How much damage he did to Edgar Lungu. We know that. We know. I'm giving you an example of how people operate when it comes to some of these people who are religious. Now, this is CR1. This is CR1. And it terrorizes Zambian political landscape like a monsoon. Why? Because of just that prophet CR1. That thing, I'm telling you, is powerful. His page was brought down. He started another one. And within hours of opening the page, people were all over on his page. What makes CR1 to be so powerful compared to other politicians? What makes CR1 so powerful? I mean, even myself, at least Nende Shakono Kweshako. At least me, I try. I'm even better off. But what is the difference between me and CR1? What is the difference? Because me, I speak from a political point of view. CR1, alalundamo, havikamo, utumantoa nikane, this is my prophet. What tomorrow? Holy water. Not holy water. Do as I say. Those things, to some of you, they may look like, I mean, what nonsense is this? But I'm telling you, other people believe in that. And that causes CR1 to be more powerful than politicians. Not even Hakainde Hichilema can beat CR1. You see? So, it is utter foolishness. It is utter foolishness in politics to dare people in the church. It is utter foolishness. And look, I'm talking about CR1. Now, you were Cornelius Mwetwa. You are talking about a bishop, a Catholic bishop. A Catholic bishop. A Catholic bishop. You think if that Catholic bishop made it his point to take you on, you think you will survive? You think you will survive? Look at another. I can give you an example because I've given you CR1. There is another priest. This Jesuit priest, Father Lupupa. You remember Father Lupupa? Father Lupupa was not coming that much, but a few times that Father Lupupa spoke. Look how much, how much havoc he caused. Look at even that young priest from the Copper Belt, from Karurushi. Just be very careful. You don't mess around. It is a political suicide to start engaging to start engaging people in the church. It is suicide. You don't go there. They can talk. The best that you can do is to just shut up. Is not to respond to them. By UPND, you have got no legs to stand on to start challenging men of God. You have got no legs to stand on. No legs to stand on. You can't fight. And I'm saying men of God in general. Men of God in general. Men of God in general. You have got no legs. Don't go into those territories. Don't go into those territories. Don't. It doesn't matter. He can be a whatever, a hallelujah church in the corner, in the classroom. They are singing, whatever. Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. Because these people, it's very difficult to fight them. And then, Chilufya Tayali, you can arrest Chilufya Tayali. You can arrest Chilufya Tayali, mwamlonga maseozi. Can you go and arrest a bishop? Chilufya Tayali, you can arrest him. But can you go and arrest a bishop? You can't arrest a bishop. You can't arrest a man of God. It's very difficult. It's very difficult, even if he belongs to Hallelujah Church with 30 followers. The moment you get him, hey, it's not the same. It's not the same. Chilufya Tayali, you can arrest him. All these other politicians, you can arrest them. But a man of God, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's very difficult. So, I mean, I don't know how you, Mwetwa, I mean, you came up and start saying those things. I don't understand you. That is a big, big mistake. You just don't go there. Let the men of God and whoever, let them talk. Let them talk. Don't start engaging them and start fighting them. Don't. It is a big mistake. It is suicide. It is suicide. And I've spoken this as a counsel to you by UPND. But now, going further, in by UPND, you have got a lot to explain to the people. You have got a lot to explain to the people. What the bishop said there is actually true. It's actually true. You are saying that what he said, you are going to respond to him. Why don't you respond to him? You are at that press conference. Why don't you respond to him? He is basically saying, what have you done in 4 years? What have you done in 4 years? What have you done in 4 years? That's what that bishop is saying. What have you done in 4 years? Can you respond to him? Can you respond to him? Judith Lumpashi is saying Pastor Duncan is in prison. Even Pastor Duncan himself, you saw the news how Pastor Duncan went. You saw the news how Pastor Duncan went. Okay? And like I'm saying, why is Pastor Duncan in the cells? It is because his voice, I mean, I don't know where Pastor Duncan, where he belongs, which denomination he belongs to. But certainly, his incarceration is different from these others. It's different. It's different. Men of God, when you touch them, it's very difficult. But then, we are talking about a bishop. You want to take on a bishop. Can you go and arrest a bishop? Can you go and arrest a bishop? Forget me being a Catholic. Just think of it. Can you go and arrest a Catholic bishop? Guys. Don't let power crowd your thinking. Don't let power, distort your judgment. Don't. Political power is borrowed. Political power is borrowed. You are there. Tomorrow you will not be there. And in politics, a day is like a year. A day so. If in Chilufya Chinja, only 1 day, so only 1 day, you can be feeling very comfortable. But I'm telling you, if in Chilufya Chinja within a short time, politics, My politics, so 1 week, it's a long time. So don't be too comfortable and start poking men of God. But let me just go further to educate a little bit my brother Cornelius Mwitwa, because Cornelius Mwitwa is dividing. He's saying what you said is personal and will be going for you personally. First of all, His Grace didn't attack you personally, Cornelius Mwitwa. He didn't. The bishop did not attack any of you personally. He didn't. He didn't attack any of you personally. So I find it absurd that you are saying we will be going for you personally. How? The bishop is talking about the government, the entire government. You have failed in 4 years. You haven't done good in 4 years. That is not personal. That is not personal. So why do you want to go personal on him? Why do you want to go personal on him? Okay, fine. You can say, like you said, no, that is your personal opinion. So he gave a personal opinion. He gave a personal opinion about a government. Does that become personal? Because I give my personal opinion, does that become personal? Does that become personal? It doesn't. It doesn't. He is within his right as a citizen to express himself just like anybody else. We have the right to express ourselves on our government. And when we express ourselves on our government, a government should not say we are going to take it personal. Guys, where is good governance there? Where is our freedom of expression? If a government is going to say, because you have said this, we are going to deal with you personally. No, no. A government cannot sue. That's why a government, if you don't know, a government cannot sue a citizen. A government cannot sue a citizen. A government cannot call a citizen into litigation. You can't. We have the right. It is our right to talk about our government. It is our right. There is no way you are going to impute, guilt on me for expressing myself on a government. No ways. No ways. Get this. Get educated about this. It is our right. It is our right to talk about our government. And when we talk about our government, there is no way the government is going to respond to say, we are going to deal with you personally. Because the government is not a person. Government is not a person. Government is not a person. So no matter what I say, you cannot come on me. You can't. I express an opinion about a government and you make it personal to say we will go for you personally. That is absurd, really. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And especially coming from a minister, a lawyer like you, Cornelius Mwitwa. You went to school. You are more educated than me. You should know these things better than me. There is no way you can impute guilt on a citizen for talking about a government. There is no way. No way. It is our right. So that is number one. Number two, you said, no, we are not going to respond to the church. You are trying to draw you are trying to draw, what is it? You are trying to draw a boundary. You're trying to draw a boundary between Bishop Gabriel Piri. You are trying to draw a line between Bishop Gabriel Musipi Piri and the church. You want to separate them. You want to separate them. Bwana, let me tell you, you cannot separate a bishop from the church. You can't. You can't. Get educated. Get this. Learn this. You can never make a distinction between a bishop and the church, because a bishop is the church. When you see that auxiliary Bishop Gabriel Musipi Piri, that is a church. It's a church. You can't say, no. What you said is your personal opinion. It's a church. It's a church. It's a church. That man, when you see him, especially when he is delivering a homily, when he's delivering a homily like he did at a function, it was not a function, it is a mass. And for us Catholics, Mass is the summit of our activity. It is the activity of Jesus Christ himself. It is what Jesus Christ left to us. Charged, the responsibility charged in the priests and bishops. You can't separate them. When he's talking there, he's talking for and on behalf of the church. You can't separate it. You can't. You can't. Especially, he's delivering a homily. Now, you go and see. Now, for an council. Now, for an council, he's wearing his vestments. With a meter. Now, that is authority, Mwana. That is authority. That is authority speaking for the church. The church does not come. We don't have spokesperson in the church. Have you seen a spokesperson in the church, you? We don't have spokespersons in the church. We don't have spokesperson. So there is nothing like, this is the church now has spoken. No. When the priests and bishops are speaking, that is the church talking. That's why these priests, and therefore, the priests are ordained. The priests are ordained, and they are, instilled with the oil. And that is an indelible character. They transform from their person of being whatever. They become Christ himself, the church. So you cannot draw the distinction. He's ordained and is ordained forever. You can't. That's why, even pastors, even pastors, that's why they are also anointed. There is a ceremony. I can speak as much as I want. I can quote the Bible as much as I want. I can do this. But I'm not a priest. I'm not a priest. So, yes, I'm just a Catholic. I'm a baptized Catholic. So when I talk, you can take me as Chilufya Tayali. I'm not a church. But for a priest, it's different. It's different. He is part of the church. That is the church. Therefore, no, that is your person or whatever. No. When they speak, especially when they are speaking at the altar, when they are speaking in church, forget it, that's the church. You cannot make a separation at no, whatever. No. And when they speak, they don't speak for themselves. They speak inspired by the Holy Spirit. They speak inspired by the Holy Spirit. Whether you agree or you don't agree, we believe, as Catholics especially, we believe that they are inspired. We believe that they are inspired. We believe that they are inspired. And even the church believes that they are inspired. You will not go anywhere in the world. You will not go to the Pope and say, this priest said this, and the Pope will tell you to say, no, that was his personal opinion. No. That's what happens. So don't make that distinction and trying to trivialize this man, trying to put him aside. No, you can't. You can't. He's a bishop, and he's a bishop forever. Even that Father Wadia, for example. Father Wadia, I don't agree with Father Wadia in many instances. In many instances, I don't agree with Father Wadia. But I give him respect because Vali Subwa, that Father Wadia, he's no longer a priest, he's not a practicing priest, but he was ordained. And so even when I'm talking about him, and even other Catholics, they look at him differently. They look at him differently. So if we can respect Father Wadia, who is out and is with you by UPND, is with you by UPND, we give him respect. What about a bishop who is still on the seat as an auxiliary bishop? You are making a big mistake there, Bwana. You are making a big mistake. And then some of you, another point, some of you are saying, no. Hey, what he said there is politics. Since when did lamenting about government failure become politics? Eh? Let's look at that. How do you define politics? Is it anything that you say about government becomes politics? If I say, Kafue River right now has been polluted and government is trying to sort it out, is that politics? Is that politics? If I say, taxes are too high in our country, I think we need to reduce on the taxes, is that politics? I think we are overdoing. We are overdoing. Yes, politics permeates in everything. Politics permeates in everything. But not every statement that is made becomes political. Because the way you are talking, you are trying to make it look like, no, the bishop is acting as a politician. How? I mean, as a bishop, first of all, even as a citizen, he's a citizen before I even talk about him as a bishop. He is a citizen. Then, of course, he becomes a church leader. But is it wrong for him to lament about your failures? Is it wrong? Are you telling me that all citizens who lament about government failure, they are politicians? Are you telling me that people should not lament about government failures? If you say, no, it is political because he's complaining, why don't you call it political when we are praising you? When people are praising you, you are okay with it. You don't complain. You don't complain. It's okay. Then they're not being political. But when we complain, no, when people complain, it's being political. Me, I'm a politician. Whatever I say, of course, when I do, it's politics. But for ordinary citizens, when they express themselves about government, it doesn't become political. Don't intimidate people in that way. Don't threaten people that way. Because what you are doing, you want people to be scared to talk about government issues. You don't want people to talk about government governance. You don't want people to talk about your deliverables. Because then they will be seen, they will be labeled as politicians. No. Citizens have got a right to talk about government. And when they complain about government failures, it doesn't mean that they are politicians. No. And I want you citizens to know as well, when you talk about how things are not being done properly, it doesn't make you a politician. It doesn't make you a politician. A politician is me, who is espousing, who has got a political position in a political party, and I'm espousing to take up a government, a political position in government. That is a politician. A bishop who is talking about how government is failing people is not a politician. And when he talks like that, it doesn't mean he has become a politician. And you shouldn't take it to say, no, that is political. That is political. No. They have a right. So Cornelius Mwetwa is totally out of order and is being really naive. He's really being naive. For lack of a better word, I'm trying to respect him. But otherwise, I mean, I would say more than that. But really, he is out of order. You can't. There is nothing political about that. What have you done in 4 years? He's asking. That's what the bishop is doing. He's asking you, what have you done in 4 years? Eh? When the time of elections come, you come promising people that we are going to do this, we are going to do this. But afterwards, you do nothing. That is not being political. That is holding you accountable. That is holding you accountable. If you can't differentiate, then you don't deserve to be in government indeed. Then you don't deserve to be in government. If you can't differentiate holding you accountable and politics, then you don't deserve to be in government. The bishop is holding you accountable. What have you done in 4 years? During the time of elections, you promised people. So what have you done? Have you delivered? If you are a reasonable government, you would respond to the bishop and tell him to say, Bishop, we have done this road from here to there. We have created this hospital. We have brought this. We have done this. We have done this. We have done this. That is how responsible leaders behave. You don't come out and say, we will be going for you. You are attacking government. How is it? How is that an attack on government? Holding you accountable has become an attack on government. Even by UPND. Holding you accountable has become an attack on government. What nonsense is this? What nonsense is this? It's nonsense. You are being cowardice. You are being cowards. You don't want to be held responsible. And you think government belongs to you. Government belongs to the people. It belongs to the people. You are there only as long as people can tolerate you. But otherwise, you would go out there. You would go out of that, out of those offices. They were there. Your friends, you removed PF, they are out. And you people were cheering when other church leaders were talking like that. You were cheering. Archbishop Mpundu Emeritus was with you. He was speaking on your functions. He was attacking. He was talking about a PF then. And you were happy. Now you want to threaten a bishop for holding you accountable. What hypocrisy. What hypocrisy. Look at you people. No. We can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. And all these things, I've said this. I mean, at the end of the day, you also have to know now that, as me, now I want to speak as a Catholic, as a church, and we, the followers of the church, we will not sit. Some of us who are able to talk. Everyone cannot come and talk. But some of us who are able to talk, and I'm a Catholic, I will not sit back and watch my church be attacked. No, I will not. I will not. I will not sit back and watch my church being attacked. I will not sit back and watch my church leaders being attacked. And I have this platform. No ways, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. If I'm going to defend other people, I will defend my church. And this is, again, where you have to pay attention. Look, Edgar Lungu mwalimu chingile. Before I was campaigning for Edgar Lungu. Mwamu chinga Edgar Lungu. And what have I done? I've just simply withdrawn. That's what I've done. I've simply withdrawn. Okay? I'm here. I've simply withdrawn. But when it comes to my church, it's different. It's different. When it comes to my church, I will defend my church to my death. Fiapusana. In politics, so what can I do? Kanjika for the meantime. But when it comes to my church, I will not sit back. I will not sit back. And I'm very sure many other followers will not sit back. Many other Catholic followers will not sit back. Of course, there will be people that will be scared, but others will not. Others will not. And of course, even among church leaders, even among priests, even among bishops, we know that there are some people that are scared. And there are some people. And of course, there are some who are even somehow, sympathetic to the UPND. I know, this is a fact. This is a fact. But that is another issue that I need to address. But before I come to that, I want to tell you that as followers of the church, especially myself, the way I feel, I will not sit back and watch my church being attacked. I will not sit back and watch my church leaders being attacked. No, I will not. And I want to encourage other faithfuls that we have a responsibility, we have a calling to protect our church, to protect the body of Christ. We have a responsibility as Catholics. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in government, you could be wherever. We have the responsibility. That is our number one core. We have to save our Christ. We have to save our Christ who lives in our church, who lives in those priests and bishops. We need to protect that Christ. We need to protect that Christ. We should never allow people like Cornelius Mwetwa, to attack Jesus Christ who lives in those, the bishops and the priests. We should not allow it. We should not allow it, and we should make sure we send that message to these people who are in government, who want to think that they are above God. They are not above God. They are not above God. They are nothing. They are nothing. There are people that can crumble with just a prayer of the rosary. Just a prayer of the rosary. Today is Ash Wednesday. I can start fasting 40 days that government crumbles. I can tell you, you can crumble in over UPND. You can crumble. You can crumble. We can call for prayer and fasting against the UPND. You can go. You can go. I can assure you, you can go. You may not have the strong faith, but I can tell you, many times I come here and I tell you to say, me, I live by the grace of God. How many times did you have been looking for me? Hey, I'm here. I'm here. By the grace of God. By the grace of God, God provides. You keep asking, hey, but who is funding you? Hey, who is doing what? Whatever. God, the miracle, God can do things that you cannot see. And I'm telling you that you, by UPND, if you think you are that powerful, we can start prayers as Catholics, and I can assure you, you can crumble. You can crumble, you can crumble. So don't be haughty. Don't be arrogant. You are nothing. We have got Christ on our side. To do it. That way. We want to do it. We want to do it. We want to do it. But we want to remind you that your power is temporal. Your power is temporal. There are many leaders in this world that have tried to fight with the church. Where are they? The church is still standing. The church is still standing. We had Vakaunda said Vakatolika mkendera pama corona. What happened to Vakaunda? May he so rest in peace. Because he thought he was so powerful. 27 years in power. But what happened? Some of you were even posting also some of the things that Edgar Lungu said. Because you like this. When we comment about you, you say, what about Edgar Lungu? Yeah, okay. Edgar Lungu could have said whatever he said about the Catholic Church. But where is Edgar Lungu? Where is Edgar Lungu? So be very careful. Be very careful. Don't be big-headed. Don't be drunk with power. Don't be drunk with power. Our church will stand. Those people, those leaders in our church will not be intimidated by you. They will not be intimidated by you. And you can do nothing to them. I can assure you, you can do nothing to them. If you think you are powerful, Cornelius Mwetwa, I dare you, go and touch that man. Go and touch that man. Go. You are saying you will go personal. Go personal on him. Go personal on him. Go personal. Let's see. That personal, whatever you mean. Go personal on him. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. No. That is not acceptable. And that is what I've come to do this morning. To tell you that don't you dare the church. Don't you dare the church. Let's do politics. But don't dare the church. And don't gag the church. The church have got a prophetic mission. They have got a prophetic mission. They need to speak for the people. They have to speak for the people. That's why they are there. That is why they are there. They are not just there to sing hallelujah, twalongana, mwishina diobe. No. They have to speak for the people. It is their responsibility. It is part of being a minister of the people. It is part of the good shepherd. Jesus Christ was challenging the leadership back then. Jesus Christ was challenging the leadership back then. It is part of our mission to speak for people. It is part of our mission. So don't say, no, that is being political. No. Jesus Christ was speaking in the synagogue. He was speaking in the synagogue. telling people you will soon be liberated. And the Messiah is here as you listen right now. Mucheichi. So fish me famule andai. Eh? Muleke, don't you dare. Just do politics. Just do politics. Do politics. Mulekata ifobeni ifini want to conquer kirikiti not messing around with our change. Because this is an example. I wouldn't be talking if you had not said whatever you said about my change. I wouldn't be talking. And I feel so strongly, and I will be more justified. You know, right now I'm in exile because of what I spoke for some people. But I will be more happier to be in exile for speaking for my change. You know, I will even have more sympathy. I will even have more grace. I will even have more things for speaking for my change. The gospel of yesterday in Mark, I think, Jesus Christ was saying, whoever leaves everything for my sake, whoever suffers for me, will be paid much more. So I will receive more grace. So I will be more motivated to fight for my change than I will be motivated to do the politics. So be very careful in all these things. Kwatenya mano. I think I've made my point. Bamweto. Kwatenya man. I'll leave it there. I have to go to church. Today is Ash Wednesday. And I'll pray for you. I seriously will pray for you so that mkwata mano, because munemoneka amano na ya chepa. Power yambo kumingira kumitwe. You are becoming arrogant and you want to start challenging people that you should not be challenging. That territory, don't. Look, even Sia1 says some things which I don't agree with. But you won't see me going around and start attacking him. I won't. Just Sia1 there. Sia1, look. Number of Kuma Catholic Church and whatever. Anyway, may God bless you. May God enlighten your mind and see the truth for what it is. Thank you. Bye.